Hello and welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, please kindly drop a yes in the chat section. I hope you can also see me clearly. If yes, just drop a yes in the chat section. We are scheduled to begin at 11 a.m. We will be starting this webinar at 11. If you can hear me clearly, can you please let us know by either using a reaction which says thumbs up or just mention yes in the chat section. Hello and welcome everyone. It's 11. I hope you can hear me clearly. अगर आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं तो प्लीज चैट में yes लिख लीजिए. If you can hear me clearly, please mention yes in the chat. Just like this. Great. Thanks, Omkar. अगर आप मुझे क्लियरली सुन पा रहे हैं और देख पा रहे हैं तो प्लीज चैट में yes लिख लीजिए. If you can see me clearly and hear me clearly, please write a yes. Brilliant. So here we are going to begin with our webinar today, which is on personality development. Before we begin, I would like all the participants to mention their name in the chat section. And what is that one exciting thing that you would like to take away from this webinar? I would request all the participants to write their name in the chat section and mention what is that one exciting thing that you want to take away from the webinar. मैं आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ एज अ पार्टिसिपेंट आप प्लीज चैट में अपना नाम लिखिए और आप हमें बताइए कि आज के वेबिनार से आप क्या सीख लेके जाना चाहते हैं. We are getting answers. So Atharva says more confidence, understanding my personality. Brilliant. Good skills development and certification. Okay. What about you, Subha? Subha and Omkar are waiting for your answers. हम आपके आंसर्स का इंतजार कर रहे हैं. Before we begin to the webinar, I just want to give you a brief. There are going to be a lot of questions, excitement that you would have while I'm going ahead in the webinar and taking it forward. One thing that I would like to let everyone know, do make a note of your questions. You can also use the Q&A section if you don't want your name to be disclosed or you would like to ask us certain questions. most of the time you will see that a particular question that you have on a particular slide that I'm really referring, you may be getting an answer in the next slide. हो सकता है कि जब मैं बात कर रही हूँ आपको कोई क्वेश्चंस हो, वो मेरे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में भी उसका आंसर कवर हो सकता है. आप Q&A सेक्शन यूज कर सकते हैं अगर आपको कोई भी क्वेश्चंस या क्वेरीज हो. So we are all ready to begin for the webinar, and thank you so much for your lovely introductions and your aim to join this webinar. What are we really going to cover in this session? Let me walk you through it. First, we will give an introduction about TimesPro, our brand. We will be talking about professional grooming tips for professionals, event and interviews. We are going to then talk about self-elevator pitch and different professional occasions where you can utilize that. The last but not the least is going to be the importance of networking, and we will open up then for the Q&A. I hope I'm audible. If yes, please do write yes in the chat section. Great. Moving ahead, a little bit about our company. TimesPro, as a company, we hold an identity of winning awards for our education initiative for Times of India Group. Our goal is to transform the students with specialized skill set into principal professionals. Our vision is to equip the Indian youth with tailor-made and industry-vetted educational programs that bridge the gap between the current formal education system and the industry requirement. As a company, we are dedicated to support the learners to find an employable journey. Talking about the details in terms of how we have really helped our learners, we are known to train 17,500 plus learners. We have empowered them. We have more than 350 plus hiring partners. 95% of our placement commitments have been fulfilled. We have a team of expert trainers who customize the entire program along with our industry experts. And we have a team for soft skill training and life skill training that will help you to have a remarkable journey in your professional journey ahead. As TimesPro, as a brand, we are a market leader. We are also known for our student placement, and we are one of the most trusted and the reputed brand in the industry of employability. We also provide individual assistance, and most of our training modes are directly through the device. Talking about our Times of India Group leading brands, we also have a group companies like Times Internet. I'm sure you would have heard about Times of India, the newspaper, Economic Times, Ghana.com, Times Job, Mumbai Mirror, Top Gear, and many more. Let me tell you why should you really prefer TimesPro. You should prefer TimesPro because we have won our Best Employability Award from Education Innovation last year. We are recognized for addressing India's pressing issues of unemployment and underskilling through job-focused early career programs. I hope I'm clear and all of you can hear me. I have a very nice activity for you. If you can hear me, you can type yes in the chat section. I'm just going to keep asking you, maybe after a couple of slides, if you can hear me clearly, to make sure that you can have the benefit of this webinar. Perfect. Focus on this image. Now, imagine if you had someone walking straight your door, right? And they have come for an interview. You are the interviewer. I'm going to launch a poll. If you are an interviewer, what type of image of a person would you prefer to interview? On the right, you have an image with a nice blazer. On your left, you have someone wearing a t-shirt and a denim. Whom would you prefer to interview if you were the interviewer? We will give 5 minutes for all of you to answer. अगर आप इंटरव्यूअर है तो आप कौन से इमेज वाले इंटरव्यूई कैंडिडेट को प्रेफर करेंगे? Awaiting for two more responses. We've got 8 out of 10, awaiting for two more responses. I will be closing the poll in next 15 seconds. Now let us end the poll. We will now show you the results. 89% of you have chosen the right person. It's good to know that you've chosen the right person. Now, let me give you a brief about what is the importance of professional grooming. The first thing is, I'm very sure most of you would have heard, the first impression is the best impression. How many of you have heard this quote? Please say yes if you have heard in the chat section. First impression is the best impression. Now, why do we say that first impression is the best impression? It's very, very important that you make your first appearance count. People would definitely look at the way how you're carrying yourself, which doesn't mean you need to have fancy clothes, but according to the location that you're really going, the attire should match the entire location. Your first impression is one of the most important thing because that will give the confidence to the other person, whether they can have a business transaction with you or have the communication with you, and if they could really work with you. The second is when you are professionally dressed according to the occasion. So here I'm going to restrain myself to talk about the professional uh, area itself. At that point in time, if you're professionally dressed in a professional environment, that will just boost your confidence. Have you seen or maybe had an instance when you were maybe wearing a suit or wearing a shirt where you have to go and give an interview and you're feeling more confident? Has that happened with any one of you? Yes or a no in the chat section. क्या किसी के साथ हुआ है कि आप इंटरव्यू देने गए हैं, आपने प्रोफेशनल कपड़े पहने और आपका कॉन्फिडेंस थोड़ा बेटर हो गया है? Has it happened? We have people writing yes. It's very important that you start understanding the importance of grooming, especially professional grooming in a professional environment. It will not only boost your confidence, but it will also help you to communicate more effectively. The third point is when you are carrying yourself in a professional attire, in a professional manner, you will also see that you are demonstrating professionalism. You are letting the other person know that, yes, I do align with your workplace etiquettes and standards, and that reflects about your commitment for the professional environment. Last but not the least, it also helps the person to have a perception. And here, when you're grooming, you're also influencing others to understand you better. They will decide how to treat you based on the way how you're carrying yourself along with your confidence. So it's very, very important that you understand what is a good grooming and a bad grooming. In the picture out here, you can see we have clearly mentioned how people judge based on your professional and personal grooming. If you're coming to an office with a t-shirt and a casual denim, I don't think a lot of professional places would be happy to see you that way, because that symbolizes casual attitude, which again would make them reflect that you are very casual in even carrying out your work commitment. And I'm sure everyone out here, none of you really wish to have something like that. Now, imagine if you are someone who wishes to go ahead, right? And you are looking at having a professional setup. Which particular person would you prefer? I'm launching a poll. If you were a professional person, which image can you relate in terms of grooming for yourself? You see two images on my screen. I have just launched a poll. Which image can you relate in terms of grooming? The first one, if you see, If you are going for an interview, which one would you really want to go ahead? I feel the right one, which is the good grooming. If it's yes, you can write yes. If it's no, you can mention no. This is a good groomed image where the person is wearing a suit. If you see top to bottom, he is professionally dressed. Still awaiting for more participation. Can you relate to this image in terms of grooming? We'll wait for next 25 seconds for everybody to participate. We've got 66% response. Come on, guys. 7, wonderful. 2 more to go. We'll be closing the poll in next 10 seconds. Please be quick. 5 seconds more. Please be quick. And here we end the poll. On your screen, you can see the image that around 75% of our participants can relate to this particular image. 2 of them cannot relate to this image. Moving on to the next slide. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay, great. Now, when we talk about professional setup, there are a lot of questions that as a trainer, I keep getting, ma'am, what should I really wear? Should I wear a typical suit and blazer and go to office every single day? Just like that, should I wear a tie and go? So it's very important to understand there are certain tips and tricks that one should carry. And I thought it's better rather than giving a generic tip to give you a tip which is dress code based, grooming based, and accessory based. Now, what is a dress code? Every working place will have a dress code. Have you met any banking professional? Have you visited a bank? Anyone? Yes, no? Have you visited a bank? In the chat, you can mention yes or no. In a bank, you will see around 85% employees who are there to help you are professionally dressed. The men are wearing a shirt and they are wearing their trousers. They're neatly groomed, well dressed. Now, that is important because if I talk about professional setup, depending on the kind of work culture that you are into, kind of company and the profession that you are into, it's important to be formally dressed. Now, what comes under formal dress code? This is the most asked question. First is either you can opt for your formal shirt and a trouser. Additionally, depending on the kind of work culture and profession that you are into, a lot of people do also opt for a suit or a blazer. They opt for a tie and they make sure that their clothes are very well pressed. Having iron clothes is very, very important. Second, they maintain their grooming very well. Men have beard, right? Clean shaved beard or clean and well maintained grooming of beard is important. Hairstyle. Nowadays, we have this, crazy thing going on with respect to spikes. Spikes look great, guys, but at the same point in time, depending on the environment, you need to groom your hair very well. If you see all the 3 pictures, men here have groomed their hair extremely well. You need to also accessorize yourself less. Whether it's a male or a female, we all love accessorizing, but understanding that accessorizing to minimalistic in the professional environment is quite necessary. A watch will be really nice. A tie clip can be great. A ring, if you want to wear, maybe one ring, but not like all fingers having rings or having chains and all. That is not very professional. I would like to give you guys 5 tips which would cover about your interview grooming. The first is your hair, like I mentioned. Make sure that your hair is neatly combed, you've gelled it well, you've trimmed it well. It's not too long or, it's falling off and not very well combed while you go for an interview. Second is wash your face, and your face should be clean. Your beard should be maintained well. Either you can clean shave it if that's what you really like. If you have a long beard, make sure that you're waxing it very well. Nails. I personally have a habit of looking at people's nails. It's so important because that really talks about you in terms of hygiene. Ensure that your nails are clean. There is no dirt. Cut your nail if it's too long or shape it very well. When we talk about interview attire, it's very important for you to make sure that you have well ironed and sober clothes. In fact, in terms of shirts, I would also recommend you to have pastel color shirts, white, navy blue. You can have pastel pink, pastel green, stripes shirts, right? Just not the shirts which have leaf and smiley faces, not a vacation kind of a shirt. Most of the time, people do ask me this question, that should we wear a half sleeve shirt or should we wear a full sleeve one? Uh, for doctors as a professional, I have seen people prefer both. But when we talk about interview attire, it's good to wear a full sleeve shirt and not a half sleeve. Once you get into the environment and you see what is it that people have adopted accordingly, you could plan your entire wardrobe. Shoes. Make sure your shoes are either dark brown or they are black. Do not wear green color, navy blue color shoes. They do not look very professional. They are semi-professional. Now is the poll time. We've already discussed the kind of grooming that we will refer to in terms of male grooming. I have my third question for you. On your screen, which one will you prefer? Men in the house, please do answers by selecting. Even females, if you were an interviewer, which kind of candidate would you prefer? I see a lot of participation here. We have another 30 seconds. Please do select. Which one would you prefer? Fifteen seconds more to go. We are still awaiting. 75% of you have participated. I would also like to remind you, if you have any questions or queries, we also have a Q&A section. You can please drop your question right there. If anybody is waiting to participate in the poll, please do participate. In next 10 seconds, we are going to close the poll. That brings us to the end of the poll. Around 67% of you have chosen the right one, and 33% of you have chosen the left one. Good job done. Thank you so much for participating. Moving to the next one. Professional grooming tips for the women. Well, I think as a female, we have a lot of options, and that can sometimes be very, very confusing. Again, to ease out the entire grooming tips for women, we have segregated into three parts: dress code, grooming, and accessorizing. Now, as a female, while you plan to go for your interview or a professional gathering, you can choose to wear either a suit, a blouse, which is like a top, skirt, or a formal kurti or a formal dress. Make sure that your attire is very well dressed, it's pressed very well, and it fits you extremely well. A lot of times we make a mistake of wearing loose clothes. Well, in professional setup, a loose clothes, right, it won't really come out and give you that sort of confidence. In my previous slide, we just spoke about why we need to focus on our overall personality development and focus on our grooming. It's important that you make sure that before you go for your big day or a particular professional networking event or for an interview, you have all this taken care. When we talk about grooming, we have a lot that we can talk about, but I will like to talk and cover in 2 points. When we are referring to grooming, it's very important for us to have a neat and clean professional hairstyle. Well, that is one of the most important things because as a female, most of us like to grow our hair, and we forget that we also need to take a check that our hair is groomed very well. It is coming perfectly well, and it's not just all over the place. Using minimal makeup is required. You are suggested not to use extremely bold colors while you're going for an interview or a professional setup. Use minimal makeup in terms of lipstick, kajal, and make sure that you are groomed extremely well. Nothing is smudging or coming out that can lower down or affect your confidence. It is a great tip for you to wear a watch, whether it's a male or a female. I would always request them to wear a watch that reiterates the importance of time. Second, you can always carry a handbag. And in terms of jewelry, it's most suggested that you wear either a bracelet if you wish to, but not compulsory. But try to keep maybe one or two fingerings at the max. Do not fill all your fingers with the fingering. That a lot of people like that. But when you're in the professional setup, that's not the place where you could do that. Few tips for the women. When we talk about business attire and interview tips, you can choose for pastel colors. You can also choose for black, gray, dark blue, whichever suits appropriate. You could also choose whites if that is something that provides you with confidence. Extremely, when it's complete professional environment, right, where they do not have leniency in terms of the semi or business casuals, make sure that you are following the color code that I've just referred. Brown can also be included. A dark green color, beige colors, they can also be included. Makeup should be light, right? And it should be neat. It shouldn't look like everything is just come on the face. Shoes, yes, do not wear your stilettos as far as possible. Make sure you are wearing high, a little bit of heels if you are comfortable. Otherwise, a flat is also absolutely fine. You cannot wear sports shoes while you're obviously going for an interview. So take care that you are either wearing a ballerinas, which are small shoes, clean, neat, and professional enough. If you wish to keep your hair open, which you can, make sure that your length of hair is quite manageable. Hands, nails should be super important. They should be clean. If you are a great fan of nail paints, make sure you have very well manicured your nails, painted well, and it doesn't have all those designing element while you're going for a professional meeting or an interview. Keep the jewelry minimal and whatever is necessary only until then. Do not wear great big necklaces, long earrings. That's not professional enough. Try to stick to studs or a small round ring and a small pendant if you feel like. Now, I have a very interesting question for all the females in the house. I'm launching a poll. Which one would you prefer? If you had to go for your big day in a professional setup, which one would you prefer? Option one, option two, and option three. Let us know by participating. For men in the house, you can let us know if you were an interviewer and if you are getting someone to who is coming for an interview, which one would you prefer as a professional one? You can participate by going ahead and taking participation in the poll. We do see an increased participation, waiting for everybody else in the house to participate. We will wait for another 30 seconds before we close the poll. Please participate in the poll. We will now be ending the poll. I will share the results. Around 50% of you have chosen option 1 and another 50% has chosen option 2. So clearly option 1 and option 2 is a winner. Thank you so much for participating in the poll. Moving to the next most important segment, that's called elevator pitch. So we spoke about how can we, build our confidence by grooming, by understanding what sort of grooming is important in a professional setup. But imagine when you're going for the interview, what is the first question that you can be asked? Or any place, you go for a networking event, you go for a one-to-one meeting. The first question that will be asked to you is, tell us more about yourself. In Hindi, आप अपने बारे में जरा बताएंगे? That is one of the most asked questions. How many of you agree to this? If you can just say yes in the chat section. How many of you agree to this, that whenever you meet a new person or you go for a new meeting or a new setup, the first question that you get asked is, can you please tell us about yourself? क्या आप हमें अपने बारे में बताएंगे? Almost everyone out here in the webinar knows about it. This is one of the most easiest questions that we feel, wow, we're going to do amazing. But at the same point in time, when the time comes to talk about ourselves, we get a little nervous, right? We sometimes fumble that where do I start? Where do I end? And what do I say in the middle? It's important to keep 3 things in mind. First, whenever you're giving your introduction, make sure that you are highlighting your strengths and mentioning your career goals. This gives an idea to the other person from what thought process you're coming and where can they really help or take your assistance to grow further. The second thing is highlight your unique strengths and experiences. It's very, very important to understand what sets you apart from the others whom they are going to meet or they have already met, and how you can add a huge amount of value. The third is make sure that while you want to talk about yourself, you have practiced this very, very well. It's like I said, it's easy to talk about yourself, but it's difficult to structure it and talk just in a structured manner that gets the other person excited. Make sure that before you go for your big day, which can be an interview, a one-to-one meeting, or maybe an entire webinar that you need to take or something in terms of events, ensure that you are practicing about yourself very well. I like to call this as an elevator pitch. In fact, me and my colleague as well, both of us, we love to call this as an elevator pitch. This is from an idea where we had seen a video where a very interesting personality was in the elevator and they asked this other person, can you please talk about yourself? And the leader was an inspiration to this particular man who was there. And this is also inspired by an actual incident that had happened with me. Moving on, let me show you and give you a sneak peek of what it takes to have a great classic elevator pitch. Let me know if you can hear this out. Can you?
Hey there. So
could you hear? If you could just say yes. In the chat section, I will begin with the video. If you can hear, please say yes. Okay, brilliant. Let's go ahead.
Last video, I talked about giving a self-introduction presentation, and I talked about the importance importance of relating who you are to your audience to make sure that they will be engaged with what you're talking about and really care about who you are as a person. In this video, I'm going to talk about what you can say specifically when you're giving a 60-second self-introduction. Hey, my name is Carl Kwan. This channel here is all about learning presentations
I'm sorry.
skills. I'll teach you how-tos, tips, and tricks to give better presentations. You'll also see some of my work videos. I own a company called Kwan Multimedia, which is a video marketing agency. So you'll see some of those videos here too. But for the most part, you'll get presentations videos here to help you give better presentations. So make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon as well. Okay, so when you have to give a 60-second self-introduction, first of all, where would this even take place? Well, a lot of times this takes place in business meetings. It could take place when you're doing an interview. Maybe you're in front of a school group or something like that, and you need to just tell people who you are. So what you can say is you can start off with saying your name and saying who you are as far as your job or your title or what you're studying, something like that. So you might say, hi, my name is Carl. I'm an MBA student from the University of California, and I'm currently studying mechanical engineering, something like that. So that'd be a really great start. Now, the next part of it is you can talk about something that maybe you specialize in, or maybe why you decide to study that, just to give people a little bit of background as to who you are as a person. So you could say something like, when I was a child, I really loved putting things together and making things and tinkering with things, and I always just knew how things went together. And it was always so boring for me to just sit in a classroom and not be able to make anything. I was most at home when I made something and built things and designed things, and that's what led me to becoming an engineering student. So the next part of it now is to tell people, okay, this is what I'm here for. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm giving the presentation and why I'm speaking to you guys today. So one thing you could say if we're talking about this mechanical engineering person is to say, today I'm going to talk about something that is going to be really interesting to give you a better perspective on what we do as mechanical engineers. And it might even spark a little bit of interest and curiosity in becoming an engineer, or at least knowing more about engineering yourself. So that's what you have to do to sort of wrap up that 60-second introduction. Just talk about an objective or a goal or maybe something you want the audience to do. It's just a little way of like saying, okay, well, here's who I am, here's where I came from, and now here's where we're going with this. So it's just a neat little tidy way to have 3 sections of that presentation to give that 60-second introduction. Now, just as a final tip here, a 60-second introduction is approximately 150 words. So if you're to write it out exactly what you want to say word for word, and you're hitting about 150 words, that is perfect. Anything above that, you're going to start speaking a little bit too fast, and it might be hard for people to understand you. A little bit slower than that, then you won't come up to the 60 seconds, which is also really good, because nobody will complain if your presentation is less than 60 seconds. All right, anyway, hopefully that is helpful for you. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments about that, and go ahead and try it and let me know how it works for you as well. All right, thanks, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey there.
How did you like the video? I hope everybody could hear that clearly. How did you really like the video? Good, bad? Did it help you to understand? We're getting responses.
So in my last
So thank you so much for letting us know that you really liked the video. Giving you a brief now, where do we really, go about using it, right? One is, we first initially spoke about the professional dressing that would also boost confidence. Then we spoke about what can we really talk, why we need someone, and how can we make a long-lasting impression. Now, it's also important in the world that we are living. It's a very, very competitive world. How many of you would agree? If you agree, you can write yes, that the world today, the job market, the job scenario, the professional worlds are very, very competitive. How many of you feel it's a yes? I see quite a bit of responses coming. It's very important to understand how can we go about tackling this? How can we be in a situation in this world where we are remarkable, we are standing shoulder to shoulder? Here's an important tip. See, as we grow in our professional world and as we aspire to be a very, very important professional by contributing things, it's important for you to understand the understanding of network. I usually call network as a net worth. Let me first help you understand why you need to have a network. First, if you have a good network, it will help you to build better, long lasting professional connections, which can in turn be helpful for you to learn what is happening in the industry, help you grow as a person. It can also create different types of job opportunities or consulting opportunities and help you advance very well in your career. It can also help you to see and participate in certain business opportunities. It's very important that you start to understand the importance of networking with people. You understand the importance of talking to them and helping them at the same point in time to grow along with you. Now, what will you achieve by networking? How many of you actually have this question? मुझे क्या मिलेगा networking करके? Networking क्यों करना है? I know, but what will I really get by networking? How many of you have this question? You can write me in the chat section if you have this question for us today. How many of you want to have an answer for this? The first most important thing while we really talk about networking and what it can do to you, it will enhance your communication skill. A lot of time when we are in a situation where we need to talk to someone who's important, who holds a position, we start fumbling, right? We're not able to clearly communicate who we are and what do we really add as a professional confidently. When you network, you will be put in a situation to time again and again, talk, communicate, that will improve your communication skill and confidence overall. The second thing is with networking, you can have an opportunity to connect with people who are also known as HNIs, high networking individuals. Third, it can help you to learn and earn at the same point in time. In my previous slide, I just covered why you need to network. Networking will also help you to learn, grow, and create business opportunities. You can also mentor or get mentored by someone that you envision to be as or in the field that you wish to go ahead. The third last point is you will learn new things and you can unlearn the outdated things. You can also seek for professional support, and there is a plethora of business opportunities and job opportunities that can come your way if you're really good at networking. This is what you can achieve with the networking. Now, before I move forward, I just wanted to check if you have any sort of questions or queries here. I will now be giving you a brief about our platform as the company. You can use the Q&A section for asking us as many questions or queries as much you would have. What is a skill assessment and how can I access? I will be answering this ahead. First, let me give you a sneak peek in the TimesPro platform. As TimesPro, like I mentioned, as a company, we are quite dedicated to making learners more employable. The platform is providing a range of services that will help you to be more employable. We are also providing career clarity calls like career counseling, which has our services are also being offered at the lowest price as 99. We have an interactive learning platform that can help you to learn and grow at the same time. We are following a blended approach where we offer live sessions along with our self-paced or pre-recorded content, followed by discussion forums and a few live sessions. We are dedicated to helping you to redefine your entire career path by providing you with career counseling. We have certified career counselors who come from a background of career counseling and experience who would be helping you to set your entire career path. We are one-stop solution where you can find courses, counseling, career path, jobs. In fact, we also have access to free scrape jobs. We have few free programs to help you upskill better. And we're also providing with career counseling. In terms of our product offering, I hope you all can see my screen clearly. we are providing skill assessment. So we have got a question for skill assessment and how you can access that. So a skill assessment is a personalized assessment which is based on helping you to understand what is a better skill suited in the industry today that is going on. It's a basic psychometric skill assessment where you will understand that what are your strong areas in terms of skills and what are the areas that you really need to work upon. Followed by that, you can also book a free 15 minutes career counseling session with me and my team. We will be helping you to understand how you can have a clear roadmap. Which skills do you really need to focus based on the skill assessment? Talking about the accessibility, you can register on our portal and there will be a link that will be provided. I will allow Mohit to help you once I complete this part to understand how you can assess the skill assessment. Third part is we also have free courses that can help you to become better. For example, we have a communication program on our platform. You can access that program for free. We also have a resume builder. It's just a few tips away where you just need to fill in your basic information and voila, you have a new resume. We also have sessions to prepare you, help you with practices on mock interview and for your interview skills that can help and enhance your job opportunities and the offers that you can get. Last but not the least, we have a job portal and upskilling programs that we do provide. Our upskilling programs also come with placement assurance. You can definitely check out that on our platform. In case of any questions or queries for this, we can take it up right now. Mohit, if you can just help with an answer on how can they access the skill assessment?
Yes, thanks, Priya. So for accessing skill assessment, so we can provide you the link in the chat. So if you can click on the link, you just need to register there and you can assess your skills on the platform. So I'm just pasting the link here.
I think Mohit, you're pasting the link.
Yes, Priya, I'm pasting.
Okay. We've just pasted the link. Yes. So you can access, you can click on this link, access this, and also book a free career counseling session. Now, we've got one more question. Thank you so much, Mohit, for answering the first one. We've got one more question which says, who should consider career counseling and what are the benefits? Now, typically, a lot of us, we feel stuck in our career sometimes, either with not finding a job. Unemployment is one of the major challenge that a lot of youth is going on. Second, many of us, we don't know what career path to also take. We've heard uncle, auntie, friends and their brother and sister saying, "आप ये भी कर सकते हो, वो भी कर सकते हो." But मेरे लिए क्या सही है? That is something that we will be guiding you. What is right for you and what is going to help you to ace in your career? That is what we are going to help. Now, career counseling. Let me take you to the next slide. We have clearly mentioned here that we will be helping you with a personalized career roadmap. We have our comprehensive psychometric testing that we do and provide you with clear timelines and what is your skill. When the skill assessment, we provide you with a detailed analysis of skills that you already hold and the potential that you hold in achieving certain skills. We will be helping you to have a clarity in terms of the next step. One thing that I can assure you is when you are going out of the career counseling session, you will have clarity for sure. What is your next step and how will you be going ahead with it? An entire road mapping can be done with our team. When we talk about our products, we have skill assessment, career counseling, a job portal, resume builder, free course, interview preparation, and our upskilling courses for placement assurance. We did get a question from Omkar. I think we had a question from you. How to join the course? What you could do is, if you are clear about the course that you are interested into, you can go on our platform and request for a call back. The second is if you're unclear about the program, you still don't know if, what kind of program should I take, what is right for me as a career. You can first go ahead and fill the 15 minutes free career counseling form, where the career counselor will give you an information and insight in terms of what is better and how can you move ahead in your career overall. After that, if you still feel interested, they will at least help you to understand the skills that you really hold. And based on that, if you like a program from TimesPro, they will help you to connect with the course counselor. The course expert or a course counselor will in detail take you and explain you about the programs and the nitty-gritties of it that you have shortlisted for yourself. And further to that, we will be supporting you in your throughout the journey. The skill assessment will definitely give you an accuracy in terms of what job industry fitment is recommended for you. Now, that helps you to have a clarity in terms of what can I really get into. Maybe more than one option because that's much required. A career counseling followed by that will help you to further narrow down the option that you must focus on based on your skills, your talent, based on your interest, and the employability parameters that exist in the industry. The job portal will help you to apply for job, access for the free curated jobs for you. The resume builder, as I said, is one of the best things that I have ever come across in terms of resume builders. I have seen so many resume builder where you need to, go ahead, write your information, and it takes a lot of time. This resume builder hardly takes some time. You quickly go ahead, choose the template that you like, customize the content that you would really like to go ahead, and it's very, very easy to edit. Just put in the information about yourself and what you would like it to have on the resume, and followed by that, voila, your resume is ready. There are free courses that we are providing. You can check our platform. There's English communication course for the initial level, which is free. You can check that. We have plethora of courses which you can look into and select according to your assessment. Either you have done it or through career counseling recommendation or your personal choice. We also do run job-specific interview practice sessions. We have mock interview experts where industry experts do come in and they help you to have a mock interview. A mock interview is something where you get a complete idea of if I was in an interview, how and what does it really look like. Then we would be providing you with a detailed interview feedback that will help you to incorporate your feedback before you go for your next interview. We also have our upskilling programs in BFSI, logistics, hospitality, and many more domains, which will help you to gain an insight and become job ready for the placements. These programs, which are also available on the website, come with placement assurance. You can take a look at that. And in fact, if you have any questions about the particular program, you can book a call for them. If there are any questions, we would be happy to take up all your questions that you have. Now is the time for you to ask. Any questions about platform, career counseling, we would be happy to help. Shubham has been pushing the link. Please go ahead and fill your career counseling form. This is a free career counseling that we are providing to help you gain clarity and the next steps in your career. Me and my team is super excited. We are looking forward for your response. If there are any questions or queries, you can drop it in the Q&A or in the chat section. I would absolutely love to also know what is your takeaway from this webinar. आपने आज क्या सीखा? Was the webinar helpful? What did you really take away? English speaking course is available right now. My team will just post the link. There is a free English communication program that we are running, which is a self-paced program. It's a pre-recorded one. The link is just posted for everyone in the chat section. You can take the benefit of this. This course will help you to understand the essentials of English communication and the importance of it in the professional domain. If there are any other questions or queries, please let us know. Also, do not forget to fill the free career counseling form if you seek for more assistance and clarity in your career. If you have any questions about the platform or anything, you can ask us. Our team is right here. We'll be happy to help you. Shubha, Vijay, Rajiv, if you're unable to type, you can just mention that we would like to ask question in the chat section, and we will allow you to talk if you have any question. अगर आप लिख नहीं पा रहे हैं चैट में अपना पूरा प्रश्न, तो आप हमारे चैट पे लिख लीजिए अलाउ टू टॉक, हम आपको अलाउ कर सकते हैं यहाँ से. I would just like to give a quick sneak peek for the English communication program. This program is right on our website. You can simply go to our home online course, go to the soft skills section, and you will see a plethora of program, a list of programs that is available. You can simply click on enroll now. Here you can check what is covered in the program, how will it really help you, and what are the steps to go ahead. You will also be getting a certificate for completing this program. I will also post out the skill assessment test once again. If there are any questions, we can take it. I hope all of you enjoyed the webinar. If yes, please do write yes in the chat section. That really, really helps us to prepare better. Thanks, Omkar. Great. In our next webinars, we are coming up with series of in-detail resume review. जहाँ पे हम आपका resume भी review करेंगे. We'll be reviewing and giving you feedback on your resume. We are going to come up with a workshop where we're going to build the resume together. We're also going to talk about LinkedIn as a job portal. What can you really do? How do we go about finding jobs? What are the different practices in interview? English communication. So stay tuned and do keep attending our webinars. You can find the link on our website. I wish all the very best for each one of you. Do not forget to book a free counseling session if you require assistance. This is a complete unbiased career counseling session where we will be talking about what is better for you. In possibilities, there may be certain programs that we could recommend you from our own portal or even the otherwise. But one thing is definite, that you will go with career clarity. Mohit, do you have anything that you would like to add from a platform perspective?
No, Ria, I think everything is covered. So
great. Thank you, everyone. We will be now closing the webinar. Thank you all for being a lovely audience and providing us with a clarity that you absolutely enjoyed this webinar. See you soon. Signing off. Thank you.